The CLEEN Foundation has called for better cooperation between the police force and the public to ensure improved service delivery. The program officer for research and strategy of the foundation, Olumayowa Olaniyi, made this known while addressing newsmen at a high-level policing executive forum held in Abuja. Olaniyi, while calling on the police force to show more accountability, especially in cases of human rights concerns, urged the public to ensure it engages police officers on official duties with respect.
The conversation around police-public relationship cannot always be discussed from the standpoint of the police alone. We must also look at it from the standpoint of the public. So a lot of time you hear so many, even in the academics, you see a lot of work on police perception. And you see the public discussing and describing the police in so many ways. They talk about the brutality, they talk about corruption, talk about so many other things. But oftentimes we don't see the perception of the public from the standpoint of the police. We don't know exactly what the public or the police are also facing, or the challenges that they are also trying to overcome. So I think for us to have a very smooth relationship between the public and the police, we must have that understanding that it takes at least two to tango. The public has a lot of work to do. We know that there's a lot of trust deficit between the public and the police, and that must be addressed both from the side of the police, who has the responsibility of service, and also from the side of the public. The police needs to do more. The police needs to do more on accountability. The Nigerians wants to see if an erring officer is punished. They want to know. And the police has that responsibility to let the public know what is being done about such cases. If a police officer brutalizes a person, the public has the right to demand answer or ask questions about it, and the police must be ready to give explanations to what has been done concerning it. But that doesn't leave that entire conversation there. The public also has its own response. That means we also need to be very watchful. We need to keep them on their toes. We need to, and of course we need to be very polite in the way we even approach matters with them, because it's reciprocal. If you demand some things from them, they might look at you as if, who are you to be questioning me on this? But we know that we need to get some information from them. There's a way we can go about it. You don't need to shout, you don't need to abuse, and yet you will get all the other things that you need to get from the police officer. So I think it's both ways, and both the public and the police needs to strike that balance.
The challenge with policing is that police is one of those institutions that tends to be a major gap between when you introduce something new and when that same thing is exemplified by rank and file. You know, part of the challenge of policing, for example, is the fact that unlike some other security agencies, you really can't take them out of service to be trained. Because if you take them out of service to be trained, there's a vacuum left. So the training takes longer, so to speak, to be able to train all the officers, and then for them to be able to, reflect it in their day-to-day activity. So the vision here, I think, is more to say, look, there's a new posture of government to strengthen the police. I mean, the challenge of police actually largely has been caused by government themselves. I mean, we have a situation where the last time we had an intact police in Nigeria was probably 1975. That's when we had what they call the Nigerian police force that did everything police supposed to do. From after the coup that killed Murtala Muhammad, that's when the problem of police actually started big time, because the police then were accused of not knowing about the coup ahead of time. So what Obasanjo did was he removed the special branch, which was the intelligence brain of the police, removed it out. And then they became the CSO, the today's SSS. And then from then the cannibalization of police started. You have a situation we now have civil defense, we have road safety, even customs now do, they're on their road. Everybody's just doing policing. So if you look at police in other countries, what they do, and Nigerian police, you see that there are about 9 different agencies that do policing related activities. So the problem of police, therefore, is they've been badly funded for over the years. But under this government, there's been an increase in funding for police, better settlement for their welfare, all that will take time to reflect in the attitudinal changes needed by police officers. More importantly, Nigerians to give the police a chance. When you train a child, the child will fall down sometime. You still encourage the child to stand up. Because if the people don't encourage and support the police the way they should, things will be difficult. An average Nigerian, if, for example, your police stops you at a checkpoint, an average Nigerian is automatically adversarial. Why did you stop me? And the question is, he has a job to do. So that, I think, is a general thing. Sensitize the people, sensitize the police, and let the polity itself know that there's a new vision for policing in Nigeria.
We should not think about police reform as just a sectorial reform focused on the police. Police is constitutionally at the center of law and order, peace and security, ground level, street level, law, order, stability. That's one thing. So we're trying to establish the centrality of the Nigerian police force based on its constitutional responsibilities at the heart of our security challenges, and beyond that, as a major factor in our development. There's a lot of studies that establish that development and security go hand in hand. So effectively, security is development, development is security. So if you think security has to do with the kinetics of the military alone, which has been the case for the last 40 or 50 years, then we're all wrong. We're going down the wrong path. We cannot move forward as a country without reestablishing the constitutional centrality of the Nigerian police force as the police force responsible for law and order. So that's one of the basic things. The other thing that I say that is not police reforms per se. This is an existential crisis for Nigeria. We can't move forward without dealing with the Nigerian police force. Right. So in dealing with the Nigerian police force, we have to now look beyond the lessons we have and where we are right now. We're all in the 21st century, and the reference to analog policing is just a sense in making a distinction between that and the potential digital reality that the 21st century is, right? And so we also have to prepare our minds that in making this transition from a Nigerian police force, which is a colonial construct, to a Nigerian police service, that is a 21st century aspirational direction for Nigeria to go. So the analog and the digital is just to make sure that there's a distinction of the past and potentially the future being digital. 21st century, as you know, is a digital, intertwined, interdependent global reality. So why would our own police force be stuck with the legacies of a 1948 Police Act that the British bequeathed to us? We have a new act, Police Act 2020, and embedded in that are the makings of a new police force fit for the 21st century. But conceptually, the whole of Nigeria has to buy into it. It's not just police, and we have to change the mindset. Yes, they say police is your friend, and we laugh, it's a joke. But honestly, the public has to be police's friend. It takes two to tango. You can't have friendship on one side without the other. The Nigerian public wants the rights and the responsibility. They want all the rights, but they don't want the responsibility of trying to reconstruct their police force. So if you want the police to be your friend, you also have to be the police's friend. It goes two ways. It's like in any relationship. But if you stand askance and you condemn them, but you expect them to come running and put their lives in danger when you are in trouble, and this is the challenge. This is the thing about the Nigerian citizenship. We're not committed to a Nigeria. We're not willing to put the hard graft to work it takes to build a functioning society in the 21st century, of which law and order is a central part of it. So it's not just police. What you see here is a representation of the Nigerian public and citizenry writ large. We cannot move forward without Nigerians. Somebody once famously said, to change Nigeria, you have to change Nigerians.